Class, I'd like to welcome you to research. And I really think that research methods will open you up to not necessarily be statisticians, but to open your eyes to how stats work very well with research and why research is so important in identifying problems, being able to solve them using a very methodological system, starting with the identification of the problem and then developing a what we call a hypothesis to solve the problem, and then setting out some definitive goals and objectives to uh, satisfy the hypotheses, and then creating a literature review which supports those goals and objectives that satisfy the hypotheses. Now, a hypothesis that doesn't pan out the way you want it isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it could be a good thing. What do I mean by that? Well, if you come up with what's referred to a null hypothesis, in other words, what you thought isn't the way when you first develop and analyze the problem, okay, if it doesn't pan out the way you thought it would after you do your research, then that's the whole point of doing the research. A lot of times we think we know the answer to things, and without doing the research, we find out that what we thought is very different than what we come up with after the research. So, research um, has all different ways of working. There are all different types of methods. There are all different types of analyses of different components of research. And I think this course is going to help support your overall degree program because it's going to allow you to step back and look at some of the different methods, very good methods, that you can use qualitatively and quantitatively to solve problems. Now, the first thing that you want to do, obviously, is look at the course information. Take a look at the course materials. Week 1 and week 2 are up there for you to see ahead of time. And going with the flow of the class, I will continue to develop the modules. Always go through the reading material first, the supportive material, the YouTube videos, my webcams and all that, before you actually do the assignments. If you don't do that, you'll be shortchanging yourself, believe me. You have to go through the process before you actually understand what it is that you need to do with assignments 1, 2, directed study questions or DQs, and actually solving a problem using research. The discussion methods are really geared toward understanding from each other, not just learning from me, but learning from each other what is needed in order to solve problems. All of you come from varied backgrounds. You're bringing a culture into the mindset here. So collectively, you can come to some type of agreement in how to best solve a problem. And then using a hybrid model, we bring to the classroom a lot of what we have learned and worked on online. So you do 4 classes in, 3 classes out. Um, the thing is, classes go from 8 to 12, but believe me, the time flies when you bring what you do collectively into the classroom online. And we want to utilize our time as best as we can, share a lot of ideas, learn from me, learn from each other, learn from the material, putting it all together. So that's kind of where we're going. So view this webcam, like I said, and then start tackling week one. As you know, our weeks go from Wednesdays to Tuesdays. So by the time you do your first Saturday week, you have already gone and working on your assignments Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then you come into work on, into work, yeah, into school on Saturday. And then we work everything that we've done up to that point. The class week ends on Tuesday. The following week begins on Wednesday. Okay, so that's kind of where it's at. Now look at the syllabus, because all my syllabus explains everything, goes through the rubrics, the whole 9 yards, and there is my cell number on the syllabus. That means you can call me if you need help. Email I look at as snail mail a lot because I don't check it every 2 seconds. But if you're working on a problem, you need help, even if I don't get to you at that minute, I see it on my smartphone and I can get to you soon. If I'm driving and something I know I can answer right away, I'll call you. Okay? So that's kind of where it's at. And this is, I know I'm doing this before the class is available. It's available on, I believe, May 3rd. You can start going through the modules and see what's going on. And we'll go from there. And I'll see you on the first class, which will be, whoa, let me look at my calendar here. Well, if the first is the first time you get on board here, actually, like I said, it's available May 3rd. Our first class, I believe, is May 12th. So that means you can actually look at this a week ahead of time, a little more, but start working on it on the 9th. Start working on the class on Module 1. And I'll see you on the 12th. There it is. Have a great day.